And we only hit him. Beautiful. Okay, let's get out of here. Please. Quick. Quickly. Go. Emergency descent. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to yet another episode on War Thunder with me, Spacefish, and welcome back to another vehicle review. Today, on something that I have not really done a review on before, being a chopper. Now, I have in War Thunder honestly not really played choppers too much yet, just given that they are rather new, and given that they also take quite a lot of effort to actually go through the tech tree right here, as you can see. I mean, even just advancing by one chopper gets like to 170k RP. Something like the Apache AH-64D getting you 390,000 research points of a cost, which honestly takes quite a long while, and the steps kind of between the choppers are so low in terms of advancement, at least in the early ones, that it doesn't really make it feel that satisfying to me to advance one by another. So I haven't really proceeded too crazily on these in the past, but regardless, I do want to actually include those in my occasional War Thunder reviews as well. And for a start now, we are starting out with the UH-1B. This being already actually the second attack helicopter that you get in the American tree. You do start out with the UH-1G before moving on to this one, and well, it's kind of a split one for me, to be honest, because if you look at the UH-1J, you can see that one of its biggest drawbacks is that you don't have the ability to research any guided missiles on it, which with actually moving on to the UH-1B, you do finally get that option. And well, it's a good option to have because, of course, guided missiles are one of the stronger weapons and helicopters that you want, while the UH-1G just always kind of requires you to go in very close in order to lob those unguided missiles at any enemies you may be able to find. Now, is this necessarily better than the UH-1G? I wouldn't be 100% sure. It probably depends a bit on the playstyle you're going for. Getting this chopper at the start, you will notice that it is actually honestly pretty nimble, pretty fast compared to the AH-1G, but that is usually also when you get it with the initial setup of 38 Mighty Mouse rockets, which, well, I don't know, is kind of a bit of a split thing for me, because this thing comes with literally no protection whatsoever. If we look at armor here real quick, you've got some Kevlar seats, basically, which, you know, if you have a ton of luck, may hold off like a small caliber machine gun bullet, but that is honestly about it. So it is honestly quite fragile, and probably feels also a bit more fragile than the AH-1G. You know, you've got these wide cockpit windows. It's very easy to just hit the pilots and blap them out of there, and thus kind of insta kill you. It's very easy to go up in flames. Not saying that the AH-1G necessarily is a tank of the skies either, but it does feel like that can take a bit more of a beating. In return, you do get that on-top maneuverability, though, that on-top speed, which does feel really good, because the AH-1G being a rather early variant of the AH-1, you do get to something like the AH-1F later. I have to say, does feel very sluggish. Now, early game, you will be required to, just as with the AH-1G, actually go into the close fighting. You've got the upgrade here, the XM159, which does allow you to carry a few more unguided rockets, but that is about it. And, well, then eventually you will finally get those AGM-22 missiles, which are honestly godsend on this thing, because given how fragile it is honestly probably quite the good idea to not just rush into the battlefield with it, but play it a bit safer from a bit more distance behind cover and actually try and snipe some tanks from range with it. I would say it's honestly not too bad at that role. It's far from anything you get at the top tiers, of course. You don't get thermal vision, you don't get stuff like ground radar that you get on the AH-64Ds. You're kind of limited to this weaponry, like as opposed to some other helicopters with guided missiles. You don't have any other onboard cannons that you would be able to defend yourself with, so still quite a way to go to the high tiers with this thing, but I would say overall it is pretty solid then. Just quickly looking back at the weapon loadouts here, you can see there's not really much variation in it. As I said, you know, you've got the Mighty Mouse rockets, which are the same ones you do get on the AH-1G, and while they do have a good bunch of pen, you do actually need to also hit them pretty much spot on for them to have much of any effect, so kind of always a bit iffy. Not the biggest fan of these, I'll have to say. You do have the option to fit some miniguns here on top, but, well, honestly, not really the most desirable thing in the world. I'm not even going to bother researching it, and neither should you, probably. And then you have the beautiful AGM-22s, which have a nice 600mm of pen, as you can see, 3 kilometers of firing range, which honestly is quite low, but also not too far from the standard of these lower tiers. The German Gazelle, for a comparison, has just the same range, so nothing really to worry about there, and you can always just play with a bunch of cover to well, hopefully make these things work for you. But overall, I think, honestly, quite the decent option for a low tier helicopter, and if I was you, you were kind of researching down the tech tree and kind of considering to move on from the AH-1G, I would certainly go for it, like, at the very latest, once you do get those AGMs researched, it is actually worthwhile moving on. But with that said, I think it is time for some battle impressions then. So let's go and hop into some games and see how we can do for ourselves. Alright everybody, and welcome to the first match then. This one actually, thus far, I have to say, has been quite the close one. There's been a lot of capping back and forth between the teams, and, well, a lot of fighting back and forth between the teams too. I proceeded to take out quite a bunch of enemies very nicely, but then unfortunately just ended up dying to an enemy TAM, like, a very weird instance. You know, my bullet was in the air, but then it wasn't, and kind of confusing. But we are now headed back into the battle with this very chopper right here to try and give our team some close air support. Now, positioning on this map, honestly, is going to be a bit hard, especially given that there's, like, next to no cover for us to work with, and we also don't really have too much time to get into the battle, given that our team's already in a very precarious spot in terms of points. So we will have to probably just make do with this forest and position ourselves right here as good as we can. Just going to quickly go and break ourselves down, go into hover mode, and go for the fixed camera, start gaining some altitude and trying to see a few enemies that we can hopefully get out of the way for our team before our team gets gotten out of the way of, if that's even a proper thing to say. Now you can see for a start that the lack of thermal sights is quite a bit of an issue for me. Lot harder to actually see people, but there's one out there that I would very much like to actually get a hold of if we can. See if we can. We can see him right here. He's 2,700 meters away, so that's very doable for us. The question being, can we hit him? And we can indeed. Gonna load a track right there. One more to the front-ish to kill the driver, and that should be it. So fingers crossed right there. And then that should be the first one taken out for the team. Let's aim for the front. Let's wait for it to land, and there we go. Beautiful. That is one guy out of the way. Hopefully he doesn't spawn up in an anti-air or a plane and then messes me up. Could very much happen. Now, moving on to try and find more. Honestly, the map is not all that populated anymore after all this fighting, so it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world for us, I don't think. But we will do our best. B, for the time being, looking pretty good. I'm mostly looking for enemies that are looking to move in on my team at whatever capture point may be. They may be at, and well, that's a TAM out of the way. I think that's a TAM that killed me, actually. You can see that, honestly, I think the missing thermal sights, of course, being a bit of an issue, but we don't get that at any low-tier chopper anyways. That was a first kill. Not really too crazy, but it's a start. I'll see you in the next one. Alright everybody, and welcome back to another one then on the cargo port map. As you can see, currently flying very, very low and carefully, because there's 15 bajillion jets and other thingamajigs circling around me, which I really, really do not appreciate here. We are going to try and somewhat use these skyscrapers here as our cover, but, well, very, very precarious situation that, and still bunch of angles from which we could very much get murdered. So let's see how well this is going to go for us. The team itself is doing alright, I think. We don't currently hold the capture zone, but I would suppose that is fine for the time being. Now let me go and gain some altitude here. I guess that these buildings are going to hopefully somewhat nicely shield us off towards most things, that is, until the buildings run out of height, at which point we will be completely left without cover. So, let's see about that. We've got a Radkampfwagen right here, I think, so we will try and yeet a missile onto that pal. Real quick. Beautiful. Target destroyed. That is one first guy taken care of. And we do always want to kind of keep our eyes out as to, like, bullets whizzing our way and stuff. I cannot see that very tank there, unfortunately, at least not from this angle, or without poking out more. Trying to find more? Doesn't currently seem there is any more I can see. Now the thing is, we currently actually kind of want to see. Uh-oh. I hear someone. Yep. Oh! Narrowly avoided that pal right there. We will try. And lob a missile at him instead, but that's unfortunately very, very not possible. Let's go for evasive maneuvers right here. No chance. He found us. But he died in return. Sweet justice. I'll see you in the next one. Alright everyone, hello and welcome back to yet another one then, this time around on the jungle map. We've already done a good bunch of work for the team, but now it is time to finally head into battle with our chopper then. This map usually does actually offer quite a bit of terrain coverage for choppers, so I'm hopeful that we can find a somewhat decent spot to hopefully lob some missiles at people from. And I kind of want to sort of stay close to my spawn if possible, but as you all know, the missiles do only have a range of 3 kilometers, so that is probably going to be quite a stretch trying to achieve that. We're going to try and use the mountain range here in the trees that are coming with it as cover, and we'll try and peek out from here, hopefully somewhat stay nice and covered and not too visible to the enemy, and then we'll see how this is going to go. So let's see. We're going to go and engage hover mode right here, and we're going to go and gain some altitude, fix the camera for ourselves, and then we will see what we can do out here. So I was going around like A and B here. You can see there is an enemy out there that we can hopefully theoretically take on. He should be actually hittable from... Are you for real, dude? He instantly saw me and lobbed a bullet at me. Okay. It's always a pretty good feeling. The fact that he nearly just hit that one too is absolutely insane, to be honest. We're going to be peeking back down, I think, for a second here. That's not all the most comfortable of an engagement, honestly. What in the world? He literally saw me within a millisecond. That was pretty crazy, not gonna lie. We're gonna try and carefully peek out at the side here. See if we can't see somebody other than him, because last time I was there was a good bunch more people than just him. There's also another enemy chopper up, which I really don't like all too much as he tries it again. Flippin' bugger. Well, really not enjoying that one too much, I'll have to say. He is pretty much just focused on us, so we will kind of have to stay down, maybe reposition a bit. Unless we die to a plane. Which is not going to happen because that's a friendly plane. Okay, we'll be repositioning a tad bit off to the right here. Hopefully, maybe throw him off. Maybe he will think that we're gone or something. We'll find out. For the time being, let's move a tad bit here. Move, not ascend. Move if we can. For some reason, we're pretty darn slow, I'll have to say. And he nearly just hit us. I'm full on moving. Well, theoretically, for some reason, pretty slowly moving, but like the fact that he nearly just shot me out of the sky like that is kind of insane to me right now, to be honest. Did he damage anything? I guess he did somewhat damage us, which is pretty annoying. We'll poke back up. Hopefully, hopefully try and do something this time, because the last one didn't really go too well, I'll have to say. That was pretty insane. Okay, so we've got the left area of the beach covered here, nothing to see right there. The thing is, I know for a fact that if I poke out like I did the other time, he will start and shoot me. So maybe we will stay on the right corner here and try and cover the other areas of the map instead. That seems like the more attainable goal right now, with that guy literally nearly killing us mid-flight at 100 kilometers an hour from like 3 kilometers. And I see... Is that a dead one? Or is he alive? His radar dish isn't turning, so I would be thinking that he's dead, and he himself is not turning his turret either, but I guess you never know. And what is this huge stack of smoke in my face here? That's not really helpful. We will slowly but surely, very carefully peek up here. Try and find someone, try and achieve a few more things. Yes, I know that that person is chilling right there. There's apparently also an anti-air. We see the leopard again, so let's maybe try and do something about him now. Finally. Let's try, let's hope. If he doesn't die before then. There we finally go. Flippin' annoying leopard out of the way. That was, quite the long fight with him. He really stayed on his toes, but eventually the reposition, I suppose, somewhat just got him, and he was in the fight with the other dude too. So, well, took a while, but we got that one going for us. Now, other than that, it feels like my team's already cleared house again. There's really not too much out there to shoot at, is there? Insane. It's another 1-1. I'll see you in the next one. If we can, take out this anti-air right here, because he has already moved, so hopefully no spawn protection, please. And we only hit him. Beautiful. Okay, let's get out of here. Please, quick, 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 quickly. Go, go, go. Emergency descent. That was really not the most ideal run right there, I will have to say, but, well, regardless, nice little quick evasion maneuver against that anti-air. I was totally focused on not getting capped by him and disregarded the fact that he was moving, so I absolutely missed my missile. I don't think I will make another reload here, so probably just a very short clip on that one, and then I'll see you back in the next clip. Alright everybody, so welcome then to the second Battle of El Alamein. Another desert map, another map with a bunch of cover hopefully for choppers, but we are getting rather close to the battlefield here, so let's see how quickly and easily we're spotted. We should be very well covered in terms of air cover, because, well, I've got like 3 or 4 friendly jets up and running at the moment, which is absolutely beautiful. And there is our first tank target out there that's just about to pull up behind cover, which is a bit of an issue. That guy we're not going to... Oh, no, we're going to hit him in time if he goes that way. Let's try that. Beautiful. Critical hit. Gonna... Oh, God. Go. Please. Hover. Disengage. Run. Holy moly. That was friggin' scary. Whatever was just shooting me, that must have been a very small caliber or a very bad aim, because holy moly, the fact that I just survived that is insane. Okay, we're going to be repositioning. That was nearly me being caught off guard there. Kind of sad that I didn't instantly nuke that enemy tank, but honestly, it is what it is. The question kind of being, I do sort of want to fire into sea, but I also sort of don't want to get killed by enemy anti-air, so I think we're going to be repositioning this way. I think that is going to be the best choice. So let's get the engines roaring. Let's thrust into this direction and then hopefully position somewhat nicely behind the enemy. Well, whatever was shooting me. We'll find out. Hopefully also a bit further away from them so they can't hear us that easily. Because of course being that close doesn't really help with being spotted. So, I'm going to try here. Again, and this also being kind of an important thing to learn about choppers, try not poke out of the same spot twice. It's like with, I don't know, say Tarkov or something, you don't want to peek the same spot twice. That's the way they're going to be looking if they do not hear you. That's always the crucial part, the if they do not hear you one, because if they do, you're not gonna, like, that's not gonna help anyways. We're gonna have to lob this missile across somehow. And I'm pretty sure that was the guy that was actually shooting us previously. Now, the issue being I did not really do much of anything to him. So let's try again here. Target destroy. Beautiful. That was some low caliber anti-air fire, I'll have to say. Let's go and search for some more targets to shoot, though. We do apparently only have one missile remaining, which I didn't think we shot that many, but apparently we did. There is a BMP out there in the hills that we will take care of. Hello. I'll get you first, and then I'll flee. Whee! Beautiful. We've got one more AGM apparently remaining. I thought we only had one. We have got one more. So, if and when we do manage to find another person, we should be able to hopefully grab another kill. But I don't see another person at the moment. So, we will have to find out. Not really the most target-rich environment at all right now. We also have A right there, which is captured by enemy. Is that guy alive? Oh, boy, I'm dead. Oh, no, this is, yeah. Why is there an IL-2 in this game? What's in the world? Anyways, 2 kills, 1 kill assist. I would say that's honestly pretty decent. I'll get my F11, F1 up and running and actually yeet that guy out of the skies. And, well, then I will probably go and see you on the other side. Alright, so welcome back to the main menu then for a quick summary on the UH-1B, the mainline Huey, the first Huey you ever get in this game. So I didn't really get the craziest clips in this time around, not like huge killing sprees, but, well, I hope that I was overall able to paint a rather decent picture for you all of this helicopter. It's really not the craziest helicopter you'll ever find, not the best one, not the most sturdiest one, not the one with the most firepower or the fastest one, but you know, I would say it strikes a very decent balance for an early game helicopter. While you do have to be very careful with this thing being pretty darn fragile and having like huge windows through which your pilot can occasionally get one shot, overall you can carry ATGMs, which is an important part because I really don't enjoy rockets on helicopters all too much. You do have some decent maneuverability and speed, not the craziest in the world, but it is very much usable for this tier. And if you play it correctly, as you should, play a helicopter around cover, peek out, peek back in, reposition when you've been uncovered, you will be able to get some very successful games in with this thing. So, I mean, if you're looking to go down the American helicopter tree. There's no real way around this thing for you anyways, and I would say, well, definite recommendation to give it a try, especially once you get the ATGMs. It can be quite useful and enjoyable, and well, that's about everything I can say about it. So I hope you all enjoyed this quick little helicopter review for a little bit of a change. As usual, if you did, please make sure to hit that like button down below. It does always help out the channel a ton. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this little thing, and well, what you think are its advantages and disadvantages, and if you're using it yourself. And well, if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. But with all that out of the way then, as usual everybody, thanks so much for watching, and I hope I'll catch you in the next episode very, very soon. Ciao.